Hello, everyone. So I wanted to go over today. We were promising yesterday, we are going to go over some of my techniques, and I want to walk through some of my portfolio and just talk about, how I shot some of these and sort of relate it back to my courses. All right. So, yeah, this is a Twilight. We won't get too into these, but this was a photo that came up in the we actually edited this photo in the One Light Real Estate Photography Volume 2 course. So this was a photo, and let me jump over here and just tell you that I really only use three techniques when I'm out in the field. And sort of the premier technique that I honestly, and I really don't mean this in an egotistical way. I just want to get to you guys the point across how strongly I feel about this. Like, I honestly challenge anybody in the world, come up with a better technique than this premier technique. You can't. It's like it's the best of everything. You're staying behind the camera. It's quick. It's efficient. You're counteracting the inverse square law, and you're just getting the most you possibly can out of a single lighting frame in real estate photography. So you cannot beat this technique. I challenge you. I really put this challenge out there. Okay, just sort of a fun statement. So that premier technique would be in the course One Light Real Estate Photography 2. All right, so that's where that technique would be. Now, some of you might be a little bit questioning, well, I'm just getting started, I want to learn about this technique, but I want to also sort of get my toe in the water and get my feet wet and understand. Well, if you're just getting into this, I would definitely get the Quit Your Job course. It just starts you off, it gets you in there, and you're understanding composition. It even talks about the camera. Okay, we have a whole section to start the video off about cameras. So again, what your settings should be, how to get clients. I mean, I can't. It's so much to talk about. I can't even go into it. I mean, there's stuff in here. There's like documents where I give you my invoices, so you can just sort of put your own name in there, right? Peche photo, take it out, put Smith photo, whatever you want to do. My actual terms and conditions, an invoice. I give you some sunset skies and a sky library. So Photoshop is acting crazy checklist. So again, it's too much crap to go over, and it's just endless. Okay, so I really recommend this course for people just getting started. It's a $60 course, and I honestly think one of these documents can save you, say, 4 or 5 hours. So I mean, come on, you know what I mean? I mean, the value is definitely there right away. I think just even one lesson from one of these courses is, so I think they're a really good value. And this is why I sort of one of the questions you may be asking right now, well, is your premier technique going to be in the Quit Your Job course? And it's actually not. Okay, so that's one of the reasons why maybe the courses are a little bit cheaper. So if you like the course and you're comfortable with the way I teach and everything, you can jump over after you do the Quit Your Job course to the second. I would jump to the second volume 2 of One Light. And if you want the reasoning behind that, One Light volume 1 was really the course I came out with originally, and I feel like this was the first, in my opinion, it was the first flambient course there was. So in flash ambient mixing, okay, and I've developed all these techniques myself where I'm just blanketing rooms with light, and I'm sort of using the ambient. All right, so that would be I feel like if you really liked my techniques doing these first few courses, you could think about grabbing One Light Volume 1 is your third course. So and then and that would be, we go into a lot of Photoshop action stuff, so it definitely wouldn't be like a wasteful course where there's everything's repetition. We definitely go over some new stuff in there that wouldn't be covered in these other courses, and we go over a really sort of sophisticated, like 1 or 1.5 hour edit in there at the end for hiring clients. Okay. And then lastly, there's just a more advanced course here at the end where it's just how to, window light is to me the most beautiful light, and we just talk about ways in this course just to get your thinking going on how you can really make quote unquote real good window light, and still you're using your own lighting, but your lighting is actually coming from windows. All right, so it's not really real estate applicable, although I do every once in a while use quite a few of the techniques we use in the advanced window light in real estate because it's so fast, so you can look into that. So that would just be the progression. The courses are about $50 each, so I think, like, once again, really good value. So let's just sort of jump backwards there. So that Premiere technique that I challenge anybody in the world to come up with a better technique than that, I use that on about, I would say, 80. Let me guess here. 80 to 80, maybe 85% of my photos I use that, and that's the technique we go over in the volume 2 One Light Real Estate Photography volume 2, and it's just the best. All right, and secondary technique, it takes me a little longer, and we do go over this technique in the One Light Real Estate Photography volume 2 when we edit that main image there. So I do use that in a lot of larger spaces and stuff. Sometimes we do a thing called machine gun lighting in One Light volume 2. And sometimes it's just simply not enough power, and so I will use this technique the way we edited this one in the class. Okay, so that would be my secondary technique. Let me just take a guess here and say, I don't know, 10% now. I don't know. So that leaves us 5%. So I'm just a leftover. Okay, so 5%. And I did used to favor this last resort technique more in the past, but I don't really like the quality as much anymore, but it's a really fast way. And I think I go over this technique in all my courses. So it's just a very fast way to stay behind your camera. But a lot of times you got to deal with little shadow and little color problems. And I don't always like the quality as much as these first two. All right. So yeah. That's it. That's how I shoot real estate. It's really very simple. That Premiere technique is going to take so much of the sort of problems out of your photography for you, just as in your first lighting frame. It's just going to do everything you want. It's going to counteract the inverse square law, where sort of you're getting a really bright foreground. You guys probably know what I'm talking about if you're getting into flash. You get a really bright foreground when you bounce above the camera on the ceiling, and you get a really dark background. Well, this technique takes care of that for you, okay? You're going to get in there. You're going to have these great starting points as you start to light things. All right? So check it out. Drop by. Feel free to email me. Emailing me is the best. Do not Facebook me, because I feel bad because people probably think I'm ignoring them. It's just, it goes to like some weird, I have a few accounts on there, and I just don't get Facebook messages, all right? Or I lose a lot of them. They fall through the cracks. So email me. My email is on my website, andrew@petchephoto.com. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. I'll see you for the next one.